All right, good evening. So tonight's video is called Complex Figures. Today's date is 2/1/2017, and your learning goal is I can calculate the area and perimeter of complex figures. Pause your video to get that copied down. Press play when you're ready to begin again. All right, so we have already practiced finding the area and perimeter of easy regular shapes, which are just our four-sided rectangles or squares. If this is our shape and it's got one side that's 6 and one side that's 12, we would find the perimeter by saying 2 times the width plus 2 times the length equals perimeter. So in this case, it would be 2 times 6, which is our width, plus 2 times 12, which is our length, equals the perimeter. Well, 2 times 6 is 12, 2 times 12 is 24, 12 plus 24 is 36. And then to find the area, we know that our area formula is length times width equals area. It's always length times width to find the area. Well, our length is 12, our width is 6, so 12 times 6 will give us our area. I used my area model down here just in case, so I could check my work. So I said 10 and 2 is 12, and this side 6. 10 times 6 is 60. 2 times 6 is 12. 60 plus 12 is 72. This is that easy peasy area. We're going to move on to some stuff that's a little bit more difficult. So pause the video to get that copied down. Press play when you're ready to begin again. All right, so complex figures are a combination of two or more shapes. And here are a couple of examples of some complex shapes. As you can see, we've got some shapes that have little bump outs on them, maybe an L or whatever this crazy looking T is. But really, all this is two or more shapes that have been put together. See, watch. If I were to draw an imaginary line right here, this shape is just a rectangle and a rectangle put together. Or if I draw an imaginary line here, here's a square and a rectangle put together. This one is more than two shapes, but I can cut that there, and I can cut this here, and I see that they're just three regular shapes put together to make this crazy looking shape. So really, the only important thing that you need to remember about complex figures is that you're going to be taking them apart to see the simpler figures. So I wrote down here, there isn't just one length and width. Yes, you're going to have to do a little bit more work. You might have to find the area of this shape and the area of this shape and then put them together. Pause your video to get that copied down. Press play when you're ready to begin. So I said easy, just split it up. So we're going to start by looking at this shape down here that's got a little bump out. Well, I see if I split this shape here, I've got two rectangles. So I'm going to find the area and perimeter of this, I'm going to find the area of this rectangle and the area of this rectangle, and then I'm going to put them together. The perimeter is easy because you just still add up all the sides. So let's figure out if we can find the area of this large shape. Well, I know that the length is 6, but what is this part right here? Okay, I see that the whole thing is 7. And down here it tells me that this little part is 2. Well, that means that this part up here is 2 as well. Okay, so if the whole thing is 7 and this much of it's 2, that must mean that this part is 5. Because 5 plus 2 gives me 7. Well, now I have my length and my width, and I know that 6 times 5 is 30. So that's 30 square units. All right, now I need to find the area of this little guy. Well, I already have my length and my width for this one. It's 4 and 2. Well, 4 times 2 is 8. And now I just put these two together because, like I said, they're touching. They're two shapes that have been pushed together. So 30 plus 8 is 38. So 38 units squared would be the area. Easy peasy. All right, over here, I've got this L figure. Remember that you can stop your video at any time if you need to get something copied down, and press play when you're ready to begin again. All right, so again, I've got this L figure. Okay, well, I see that I can split this shape this way. And I've got this rectangle and this square. Easy peasy. All right, if this whole side is 8 and this portion is 5, that must mean that this section right here is worth 3, which also means that this is worth 3. Okay, now I need to find this length. Well, if this side is 3 and this is 3, that must mean the whole thing is 6. Now I can find the area. 6 times 3 is 18. And I have the length and the width for this shape. 5 times 3, 15. Well, what do I do with those two numbers? I add them together. So 18 plus 15. And I know when I add those two numbers together, I have 33 units squared. All right, pause your video to get both of those copied down, and then I'm going to give you one to try on your own that we'll check tomorrow. And we're going to get some more practice with these tomorrow as well. All right, go ahead and draw this shape in your notebook. I want to see if you can decide where you're going to divide this figure to make it two separate shapes, and then see if you can find those missing numbers that you need. Remember, you can use the parts that I've given you to find what's missing. We'll look over this one tomorrow to see if you got it correct. Give it your best effort and have a great night.